Thanks for joining me today on Ilum Sabers. Today we're going to review and compare two lightsabers. We're going to talk about the Hasbro Obi-Wan Kenobi Force FX Black Series lightsaber, and we're going to compare it in functionality and accuracy to a neopixel Obi-Wan Phantom Menace lightsaber that I have from Ultimate Works. So jumping right into it here, looking at the hilts side by side, right? One obvious thing comes to mind, right? The Black Series, the blade is fixed where it is. It's not coming out. So if you're wanting to display it in a case like I have over my shoulder here, without the blade in it, you're not going to be able to really do that as it comes. You would have to send it off to get a conversion done. You could have just an LED conversion where all the electronics in the hilt stay the same, but the light source changes. So instead of LEDs that flicker up and down through the blade like this one has, it would just be one high-powered LED at the bottom that lights it up kind of like a flashlight. The blade brightness is about the same, but you lose the effect of the on-off. So just really quickly, we'll go over that. So that on-off is a pretty cool effect, right? And those came with the earliest Force effects the Master Replicas did. The very first one they did was the Anakin Attack of the Clones. That one didn't have it, but the very next one did. So yeah, that's what this has, but it's kind of a drawback that the blade doesn't come out. This one, of course, the blade comes out. It's got retention screws. We can go over that in a minute. It's got a blade plug in there. But aside from those obvious immediate differences, let's kind of see what we've got going on here. So first of all, looking at them side by side, the one on my left here is quite a bit thicker than the one on the right. So the Black Series, just to account for the type of electronics they put in and everything else, the hilts are generally a little thicker. Something else you might notice is that things are kind of in different places. Not quite, you know, they're close, right? So if you look at it with the red button at the front, you've got your cover tech adjacent here, and then you've got the red button situated right underneath one of the bezels. You've got a gold bezel here that looks to have kind of a purple colored, dark purple gem. This one's got a lighter colored purple. I'm not sure which one is more accurate per se, but you've also got in the grip section, I'm trying not to hit things with the blade that is permanently attached here. The grip section, you've got like that, and you notice on the one that's a little more accurate, you've got kind of grooves that go down in there a little more. And these grooves actually should be a little deeper than what they are on this one even. The KR1 replicas has decently deep grooves as well. That's something that's kind of hard to replicate with any electronics, because then you're kind of hindering the space that goes down in there. Another one that's really tough for that is the Qui-Gon Hilt. But this one is still a little better as far as that goes. Another thing you might notice is the finish of them. The Black Series has a brushed finish at the top and then kind of a polished aluminum finish at the bottom, whereas the Ultimate Works has a brushed a polished aluminum finish throughout the entire hilt. So it really adds to the sort of feel to it to have it all kind of the same, whereas this one, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looked kind of white at the top, sort of. This one does have the pommel cube holes in it, so that's a plus. Looking at it, I'm just looking for other differences that I notice. This is a small one, but like this right here, this little like punch, it holds electronics in place inside the hilt. So if you were to take it apart, you'd have to, you know, get a hammer and a punch and remove it. It'd be a whole ordeal, but that's not accurate to what the prop was. So this one doesn't have it, right? Again, the sort of thinner neck right here, this one kind of replicates it, but not quite. Both of them have the little black section right underneath that lip though. Other than that, I mean, like I said, this one is thicker, but for the most part, everything that I see on this one is present on this one, just, you know, a little bit bigger to accommodate for the size of the hilt. But let's see, from top to bottom here, I would say that the Ultimate Works neopixel here is less than an inch longer, probably it's less than half an inch longer, even that. So really, I think that kind of adds to part of the illusion of this being, or of it looking so much thicker too, is because the girth is not complemented by more length. But to be honest, you probably wouldn't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the functionality of both of them. We'll talk about that. All right, so for the next part of this video, I'm going to go ahead and compare the functionality of these two lightsabers. So here is the NeoPixel from Ultimate Works and the Hasbro Black Series. So right away, I'm going to go ahead and ignite them. So you can see it's kind of night and day, right? This one is a lot brighter, and it's got like a flicker to it, which is accurate to the movies as well. I'm going to go ahead and kind of show the sensitivity of both of them as well. So the sensitivity on this one, you've really got to kind of punch it to really get it to recognize the swings you're making. Whereas this one, if you'll listen, it's got pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio of movement to sound. Another interesting aspect, this one actually only will have the sound font that came with it, only one sound. You can't change that. And it's not actually from The Phantom Menace either. Hasbro has generic Jedi sounds that they use. So it's going to sound like this. And that's all you get. This one, you actually can go ahead and add sound fonts to it and program them in. So I'll go ahead and cycle through a couple here. So this is going to be Anakin from Attack of the Clones in the Tusken Raiders camp. A really deep sound. But you can really hear that swing ratio is really good.
Where is he? Reed can be a powerful. This party's over. Right, my ship. Meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, so this is Obi-Wan from The Phantom Menace. I believe I started with Obi-Wan from A New Hope, actually. It's the sound that I played. I'll go ahead and... And the harder you swing it, the louder kind of swing you'll get. Which is really cool. I'm not going to do it in the video because of copyright reasons, but you also can go ahead and hold down the power button and get tracks. So for that one, I believe Duel of the Fates plays. For the next one, which is Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi, you'll get Battle of the Heroes and so on. Another thing you've got with this one is you've got blaster deflect, right? So deflecting blasters, you've got clash, right? You've got lockup, you've got stab. You also have gesture features, so you can twist off or swing on, all kinds of things that are all fully customizable, which really make the electronics in it just really fun to mess with. So, you know, again with this, it's more of a simple, right, on and off. You don't have the blaster. You do have clash on this, but you don't have a flash, right? So you really have to, like, really, the hilt has to really find a jolt to react to, and it'll make a clashing sound, but it will not flash. So that was just a brief overview of the differences in both functionality and accuracy between these two lightsabers. Again, this one is a Hasbro Black Series, and this one behind it here is the OWP from Ultimate Works. One of them is NeoPixel, of course, and the differences there I think were pretty obvious. The accuracy differences are interesting to note as well. Let me know what you thought about the comparison down in the comments. Which one did you prefer? Do you prefer a completely different Obi-Wan Phantom Menace hilt? Do you have a favorite Obi-Wan font? anything like that. And if you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. That really helps us out, and stay tuned for future videos. Thanks a lot.